mentally restrained. We got the keys to obtain. Division seems to be what was taught. Higher learning should have brought us together, not taught. It's more than 2 words. It's the way we move. Mindset first, then the vision proves. Family love, finances and health. Family love, finances and health. These are the ingredients of generational wealth. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Investing with Rod. Welcome to Points Blank Experience. I am broadcasting on both channels tonight. Reason being, this is typically a Investing with Rod topic, but I hear it across the board, man. I always hear about generational wealth. I hear these 2 words. I've used them. I hear them. I hear people using them. And tonight we're going to talk about it. Hey, I want to welcome everyone here. I am your host that sometimes does the most. It's your boy Rod, as you can see from the screen. On this channel, we take my journey and talk about how I take small amounts of money and invest for my financial future. On Point Blank Experience, it's just simple. It's real talk from a point blank perspective. We're going to do both of them tonight. I'm not coming in here to show y'all no bunch of money. I'm not coming in here to talk about what I have, what I don't have. But I am going to do what I typically do, and let's do some thought-provoking things. We're going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to show you some ways. I'm going to tell you some ways. I'm going to talk about how to create generational wealth. And I got to give and I'm going to be doing a lot of looking down today. Do me a favor. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It is free. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be dropping thousands of dollars worth of knowledge tonight. And when I say thousands, it's going to be, you would have to probably take a college class. And if I have to do 2 parts, I'm going to do 2 parts. I want to keep this about 1.5 hours max. I don't want to extend this and people don't want to watch the replay, or if you have to go back and research something that you heard me say, I don't want you to have to go through a 2-hour video. So let me see who we got in the building. Let me see what's going on here. So we got Cheryl. What's up, Miss Cheryl? How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for the gift. I am going to be doing an unboxing on there. We got Experience with Sassy in the house, channel member for PBE. Thank you so much. We got Miss Jerry in the crib. Hey, what's up? Hey, what up, Sad? What's up, man? You're right. I'm over here still BTC only, which is Bitcoin. Buying the dip, loving 50% off the BTC price. That's a good start. And we're going to be talking about that. What he's basically saying is Bitcoin is down right now. He's getting it on a sale. But, you know, I'm not going to do too much technical talk tonight. We're going to talk about everyday things. I want to talk about things that people can relate to. And one of the first things I'm going to talk about is some of the things I've done and some of the things we still do. We is me. That kind of take away from generational wealth. And I want to hear, what is generational wealth? What, you know, we hear people say it, you know, I want to create generational wealth for my son. I want to create generational wealth for my daughter and my family. But do we really know how to do it? Can we say we're going to do something even if we don't know how to do it? No, you cannot. And tonight we're going to talk about I can do it in 1.5 hours, but I'll be flying. So if I got to do a part 2, we're going to do a part 2. We got Just Asking for a Friend, Keisha in the building, my co-host in the house. I said in the building. That's her time. That's her line. I can't be saying. We got the Nichols in the crib. What's going on? What's going on? Let's see. Make sure I don't leave nobody out. Tara, what's going on? Thank you for being here. All right, I think we got it here. So Desmond and I are riding together. He said, hey, what's up, Desmond? What's going on? All right, 18 real homies in the crib. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share it out. Share it to a friend. Share it to your cousin, your cousin's cousin. I don't care. We need to talk about this, man, because I'm going to talk about the first thing that I see that takes away. We're going to talk about what takes away from generation. Well, you can't get somewhere if you come. I mean, if you're trying to build a sand castle on the beach, and then your son, your daughter, your little niece, nephew constantly taking a shovel, taking off sand as you're putting it on, you ain't getting nowhere. And that's what happens. We're talking about building generational wealth, but what are we doing to keep that foundation? You have to have when you build a house, you have a foundation. That's the way I learned it when I got my degree. You have to have a foundation. So what are some of the things that we do to take away from generational wealth? The first thing I did, and still have the capability of doing, is we spend money before we get it. Let's just say we're expecting a bonus. We're expecting a check. And notice I didn't say taxes. Everybody always want to talk about taxes. It's not about the taxes. We have Hey, if you don't want generational wealth, okay, good. If you don't want it, you don't want it, man. I'm looking at the comments over here. Let me take this comment down while I'm thinking about it. So, and I will be ignoring any people on the side that just talk about nothing. And I will be knocking them out of here quick as I can see them. So I used to take money and spend it before I got it. If I got a bonus, man, okay, I want this watch, I want this shirt, I want these pair of shoes. How can you build? How can you add when you're constantly subtracting? Let's talk about that. If you're constantly taking away, how are you adding to the pile? You're not doing it. So, okay, then let's just say we go somewhere, and Tanya and I just talked about this on Live and Direct, and we spend money that we know we don't have to spend. I haven't even looked at my notes yet. I'm just thinking about stuff I've done off the cuff. You know, I go on a vacation and then we pull out a credit card, or we dip into the electric bill, or we dig into this, that, and the third. And it's money that we don't even have to spend. And we're spending it now, but we got to make up for it later. Well, how are we ever going to build? And in addition to all this subtracting and all that, tonight, I'm going to tell y'all some brokerage firms, what I call income-friendly brokerages, like your Robinhood, your Fidelity, your Webull. I'm gonna tell you how much you need. It's a lot that I have to pack in this hour and a half that I want to do. So let me get in my notes here real quick. And again, if this is your first time here, do your boy a favor, hit that subscribe button. Let me know you're in the house. Okay, let me see which one of these. I guess I'll go to this one. All right, here we go. All right, so now we talk about generational wealth, but I'm gonna tell you some things that take away from us obtaining generational wealth. Is we sometimes put ourselves in a bad position, whether you believe in karma, bad luck, whatever you believe in, it happens. Now, if we got it, how many times have we run into a situation we don't want to help someone, so we don't help them? We choose not to help them because it's taking money out of our pocket or out of our whatever we want to do. But what are we doing with this? So I'm going to propose a question. I see the comments kind of light right now. I got to get y'all in here to get active, man. What are we going to do if you get a bonus right now? Let's be honest. What do you do with your money when you get what they call extra money? See, there is no extra money in the world of Rod. All my money got a job, and we're going to talk about that. Employ your money. Give your money a job. A job ain't going to the mall and spending it. A job is where can you put your money to make more money without you having to do anything. That's how you build generational wealth. You don't sit up here and, oh man, I'm going to go get this. I'm going to go, every time I get $1, I'm going to go spend $2. Every time I get $1, I'm going to spend 75 cents. That's cool if you go invest the other 25 cents or half of that. All right, so what about, have we ever not helped someone else because they may get ahead of us? If I help them, they may make the right move because I don't want to make the right move. And they say, I know they've surpassed me. Man, it happens all the time. So one of the things I want to do right now is I'm going to talk about employing your money. How do you employ your money? The first knowledge, the first thing with generational wealth is you have to put money up and not touch it. If you got $500, what you call extra money, and you put $400 in the bank, but you know you're going back next week to take $350 out, why not just keep the $350? I tell people all the time, put what you put up, what you can afford to put up, and leave there. Don't go put some money up with the intention knowing you got to go back and get it. Why not just keep that out anyway? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, a lot of people, I have several videos on investing with Rod, from beginners to people in the middle to advanced investing. You want to see your money grow, and I'm just showing y'all my journey on how I take small amounts of money and invest for my future. You ain't never got to invest. I'm not tired. I don't want to use the word tired, but I'm concerned with people saying generational wealth. Well, let's start building it. Hey, we can talk, but let's walk the walk. Investing. You don't have to have a bunch of money, and you don't have to have a bunch of investments to create generational wealth. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. I wouldn't buy only Bitcoin or only Microsoft or only Nvidia. I'm going to put my money, I'm going to diversify my funds. I'm going to take the money, the little bit of money I have. Now, here's a rule that Rod lived by, and this will help you out with not putting all your money over here and talking about you saving or investing. Savings account, this is different. But when you're investing, right now we're talking about generational wealth with investing. Never invest $1 you can't afford to lose. Don't be listening to the Joneses. If Rod's last name is Jones and you don't understand what I'm saying or it don't make sense, don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen to the people on YouTube or other platforms. Make sure you do your own research before you invest any of your hard-earned money. That's what people make the mistake. FOMO, fear of missing out. We hear about the next big thing. Hey, I heard they got this new water and it's gonna, you don't have to drink water for a week if you drink one bottle. Man, that's some BS. Know what you're investing in. Invest in what you believe in. Don't just take your money. So first rule is invest what you can afford to lose or not have. If you can only afford to lose $1, invest $1. If you can afford to lose $5, that's what you want to invest. But at some point, you're going to have to get knowledgeable and conscious and confident enough to say, I believe in what I'm investing in. And don't get so afraid. Now, build a generational wealth. Here's another myth. It's not going to happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. It takes longevity. It takes a long time to build generational wealth. It takes, forget this generation. Let's take that first word out. Let's just talk about wealth. It takes a long time. In order to have generational wealth, you have to create wealth to pass it down to the next generation. That's where people missing the mark right there. You have to create the wealth. So if every time the market is going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up. Interest rates are going to be at 4% this month, and maybe this quarter, next quarter, it may be at 3%. Don't take your money out. What I do now, if I lose X amount of percentage of my money, then I may make some moves, but I know the market is going to fluctuate. That's why I look at what has the stock done in the last 5 years, 10 years. Next thing I'm going to move to, we got investing. You want to free up some extra money? You want to free up some extra? I'm going to tell you, you don't need no raise at your job. You ain't got to go get no side hustle. If you want to get some extra money, eliminate some of your debt. Tell yourself no. Leave the credit cards at home. Don't go cut them up in case you have an emergency, but leave the credit cards at home. Learn to tell yourself no. You're in the store, the online or wherever, and your mind is telling you yes, but your pockets is telling you no. I know y'all know where that come from. I ain't gonna say his name. But if your mind is telling you yes, but your pocket is telling you no, listen to your pockets. You don't need everything you see. You don't need it. So if you eliminate some of this debt, I don't care, like me. I wouldn't, it depends. I'm gonna tell you how I would do it. Now, I'm not the investment guru. I know what I'm doing. I'm not a guru, but I know what I'm doing. If I pay off a debt and I free up $50, I'm gonna take 40 of that 50 and I'm gonna tackle the next debt. I'm gonna take 10 of that and I'm gonna put that money to work. I'm going to give it a job, whether it's with an ETF or exchange traded fund, whether it's with a stock, whether if I don't understand those two, I'm going to get a high yield savings account. I'm not talking about a typical account. You want to get some money back and you don't understand investing, get a high yield savings account. If it doesn't have a building, it's probably going to pay you a higher percentage. Your Ally, Goldman Sachs, Capital One, Discover. You ever seen a Discover building? Unless it's a big old skyscraper, I'm talking about a regular bank. If you see a regular bank that you can walk into and do transactions, they're probably not going to give you a lot of interest because they have to pay for the overhead of running the building. So if you got a high yield savings account and you don't understand investing yet, put your money there. 3%, 4% is better than no percent. A man told me one time, I'd rather have half of something than all of nothing. I hope somebody in the back hear what I just said. I'd rather have half of something than all of nothing. Oh, I ain't gonna put my money over there. I'm gonna wait until the market come back up. I'm gonna wait till this stop. No, man, that ain't how you do it. Patience, perseverance will give you prosperity. I'm not looking at the notes right now. I ain't even look down lately. I really don't have to. I just don't want to miss anything I'm talking about here. So eliminate the debt, man. Business ventures. I'm gonna ask a question. If anybody here right now, you ain't got to answer in the comments. If you have a side hustle, if you're a content creator, you mow lawns, you sew clothes, you put buttons on. I don't care what you do. You're baking cakes, you're making cupcakes, or you're selling lollipops. I don't care what you're doing. Do you have a side hustle right now? If you have a side hustle, And you don't need the money. You're just doing it to be doing it. You have a job that suffice. What are you doing with the side hustle money? I tell you what most people do. Tell you what I've done. And whenever time, I ain't gonna be saying this all night, but every time I say most people, you best believe Rod probably did it. We always got to go find something to buy. No, man. You know what I like buying? I like buying ownership. I got a song that I wrote. When they was over there hustling, I was in the back breaking down ownership. I was trying to figure out how could I own the business that I was studying in while everybody else was in there kicking it when I was back in Arkansas. When I used to go to Vegas, I sat at the bar in Vegas. I wasn't worried about gambling. I was trying to figure out how could I own a casino. I like to buy ownership. Yeah, I'm going to buy the hats. I'm going to buy the clothes. I'm going to buy the jewelry. I'm going to buy the watches. But I also am going to buy the companies that sell me these items that I'm wearing. Hopefully y'all feeling what I'm saying right now. Buy ownership. You go to Walmart all the time. I'm probably the only fool out there that don't care. I did when I had a job. I ain't gonna lie. But now that I don't have a job, when I go in the parking lot at Kroger, Walmart, the mall, wherever I go, 7-Eleven, the bank, if I go to Chase Bank, Citibank, I'd be happy to parking lot for it. Why? Because I have ownership in every company I just named. We're building wealth. We have to have wealth before we can get to generational wealth. We have to. And that's where people are missing the mark. Everybody's talking about generational wealth, but they don't know. Okay, it sounds good. It sounds technical. It sounds great at the party when you're playing spades, dominoes, at the club, popping bottles. It sounds cool. Yeah, man, I'm going to give me some generational wealth, dog. How you going to do it? Then that's probably the end of the conversation right there. But then if you have a side hustle, and let's say you're on YouTube and you're a content creator, you make, I'm just going to throw out small number, you make $200 a month. Why not take 50 and put it up somewhere? I got I don't know how many videos on Investing with Rod to tell everybody how to do it. I'm not saying do what I do, but at least go research it. So let me move on. One of the things I'm going to talk about, I am going to get into generational wealth when I talk about living wills and living trust and all that good stuff. Now, how many people in this live stream have financial goals? What are you saving your money for? Retirement? You want to take a vacation? I got accounts for certain things. I have an account right now with Webull. That's my travel account. I don't have a lot of money in there, but I got enough to take a flight and get a hotel room for a couple of days. That's the purpose of it. I'm not saying go get a million different accounts, but do you have any goals? Are you even saving money? Now, I know what somebody out there said. I'm going to go and put the chocolate elephant in the room or whatever they say. Rod, what if I don't have enough money to invest or to save? I've been there, man. It was one of the most painful moments I've been through because I love to invest. I love to save for my future. And what I did at that moment when I didn't have any money, and usually when I ain't had no money, I was in a bad situation. It was only going to last so long. And when I got some money, I was going to make sure I wasn't in that situation again. When I got some money, I was going to put up some money. Most of the times, not all the time, most of the time, I'm going to use me. I'm not going to say everybody else. Most of the time that I didn't have money or ran out of money or something like that, I put myself in that situation. I was overspending. I was overextending. I was buying cars that I didn't need. I was buying drop top Lexuses at 30 years old, $68,000. And I mean, I was making the money, obviously, but I didn't need that. I didn't even go anywhere. Then we go get the outfit that we're only going to wear to a one event. I mean, I know you ain't going to go wear no regular sundress to the wedding unless it's a summer wedding. We go buy stuff I'm not saying don't go. Or I'm going to tell you something I do right now. A Goodwill and all of that. I'm going to try me a garage. Well, I'm probably not. But if I had the patience, I'd try me a garage sale. And if that didn't work, I'd take whatever I didn't sell over there. And then I would find a way to put that money up. Wealth, anything that becomes big starts small. And so many people, I'm going to hit y'all with something else. I only make this amount of money. I'm not going to. Man, I started with $25 a month. That's what I started with investing. I didn't know what I was doing. I had some dude that told me how to do it. Hey, how you doing, Sandra? Let me just holler at everybody here. How you doing, Miss Shaw? I already spoke, and I got to make sure I don't miss none of these. Let me go over here. I'm gonna go through some of these comments. Let me just say this here. I just didn't know what I was doing, but I had $25. And I almost got caught up by the negative voice in my head. And that negative voice would say, Rod, if you're investing $25 a month, in 12 months, you're only gonna have $300. Well, guess what? And at first I said, yeah, you're right, boys. That ain't no money. What am I gonna do? But then I said, wait, that's 300 more than what I would have had. Then I increased it to 50, then to 100, then a couple hundred when I could. And when I couldn't, I didn't. I'm gonna say this right now, and I want y'all to think about this. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna put all this stuff in writing. I'm probably gonna, I don't know, I'll probably put a link on my community tab on Investing with Rod and Points Bank Experience so people can go back. I'm gonna draft all this up so you can see it, because I know I'm throwing a lot at you. But right now, I'm gonna use Robinhood. Every one of my videos that I do, a pre-recorded video, I use Robinhood. Why? It is zero a minimum to transfer the money. So if you only got $1, you can transfer $1. I'll show y'all here in a minute. If you only have $1 in your account to invest, you can invest $1. Fidelity, the same way. Fidelity, these are major companies. These are no mom and pop shops where you can take $1. Who can afford? Man, I blow $1 every day. Matter of fact, I blew something. I got a cup of coffee right here that's full that I paid $3.34. I ain't even drinking. So I could have took these $3 and invested it. That's how I think. But that's the mind of an investor. That's another thing, capitalizing. And I'm going to talk about generational opportunities. I had a young man, Nigel Schroeder, said that, but I'm going to take away generational again. What about the opportunities that we let pass us by? The opportunities where we come up with reasons, and I'm gonna say what Rod did. Rod came up with excuses why he couldn't invest, why he couldn't save, but he found a way to do all this other frivolous stuff. Go over here and go over there. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all one I was guilty of. Somebody in the back, put a 1 in the chat. You can put a 3. I don't care what number you put in there. I know what you're talking about. How many people have spent more money trying to impress other people? I know I did. Man, they put us on this pedestal. Oh, Rod balling, so Rod got to look like he balling, or Big Willie style, and whatever other names I done had throughout my life. And then you catch yourself living up to this persona, and then when all them gone and your money gone, and you can't find none of them people no more. I ain't said it in a long time, but people used to say, "Man, what's up, big money? Big money? What they big money grip?" I said, "No, man, I'm little change Larry." I used to say, yeah, no, I ain't big money nobody, because I ain't feeding into that, because it's so easy. Let me see who we got up in here. Let's see. Let me see if we got any. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the. Hold up, what did Tar say? But my grandkids clothes. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. Hey, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry, I gotta ask, man, how did your procedure go? I got right up here. Hey, Keisha, I'm good. A little sleep and having some pain, but I'm still here. Hey, Jerry, get some rest. The replay is always available. And this is what made me see that. I'm sorry to hear that, Jerry. Please get some rest. See, great minds think alike. YouTube. I don't know what. I'm going to get out there before she get on to me. Shout out to Keisha, man. Keisha keep me straight. But my grandkids clothes. Okay, Tar. Right. Your money needs a job, man. Employ your money. Put your money to work. I got a promo somewhere out there. Oh, I got 6 employees. I don't even remember all their names. I know I got Franklin, I got Grant, I got Washington, Lincoln, Madison. Them are all the people that's on the money. They go to work every day and every night. I love when I'm telling you, man, the best feeling in the world when you get to the parking lot and it's full and you ain't mad because you got stock in the company, man. That's building wealth. And don't let nobody say, I'll tell you what, people that are afraid to do what you're doing. Oh, how many shares you got? Not enough. That's my answer. I ain't got enough, because I ain't gonna never have enough. But oh man, you only got 1 share. That ain't nothing, but then they ain't got none. Man, don't let people talk you out of your dreams. I'll tell you, it happens all the time. About my grandkids' clothes, crab in the barrel mentality. Cheryl said, like that employer money. Yeah, this could be a game changer for me. Yes, man. You know, if you got a business, I mean, I know Miss Cheryl has a business. I don't know her financial situation. I don't know nobody in here's financial situation. I only know mine. And I'm telling you, I don't care if I got an extra dollar. I'm putting 50 cents of it up. And when I get a dollar, I'm going to Fidelity or Robinhood and I'm going to invest it. These big companies that you don't think you can be a part of, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, and whoever else out there. Man, I ain't never think I could have an account at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs was for the rich, wealthy. They wasn't even for the rich. It was for the wealthy people. No. They realize, man, there's more non-wealthy people than it is wealthy people. Come on, y'all. We are given opportunity. That's why I got on that opportunity. We're given opportunities now that my mom, my dad, people's parents in here, our ancestors, they didn't have. When I first started investing, it cost $30 just to make the trade, just to buy the stock. You had to have $30 and then you had to buy a whole share. Now your boy Rod is telling you, you can go invest $1 and buy a fractional share of what I call a piece of the pie. You got a stock that costs $300 a share. Don't worry about that. That's the whole pie. Get you a $2 slice, a $5 slice. You might just get some crust. I don't know, but you got some pie. I can't is not in my vocabulary when it comes to financing and building for my financial future. I used to want to be rich. I don't care about that. I used to want to be wealthy. I don't care about that. I want to be financially free. Meaning I can come and go as I please. I can go out there if I choose to. I ain't gonna do it and buy whatever I want. If I get a call and someone's in need, don't y'all call me though. Don't y'all call me. I can help them if I choose to. I'm telling you, man. Mess it up. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm live. Living color. I love a good garage sale. I'm telling you, man. And you got people out there that are reselling. You got people out there that are buying stuff and reselling it, man, everything. And let me get back to my notes, man. Let me go through here real quick. Just asking. Hey, thank you, Just Asking for a Friend, for speaking to everyone. Hey, what's up, Shay? What's going on, man? If y'all in here, say hi to your boy, man. I got 8 real homies in the crib. When we talking about stuff, that's another thing that bothered me, man. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it, man. I'm telling you, I ain't sugarcoating nothing tonight. If some profanity come out, I'm apologizing in advance. One thing that irks me, every time I go on investing with Rod, I have a small number of viewers. I did a live stream on Baby Mama Drama and got 10,000 views, but I come over here and talk about generational wealth, and it ain't even a fraction of that. That irks me. I have a thing, it's somewhere in here, financial pivot. If we think small, we're going to get small. I mean, you might not have people in here might not even understand half stuff. I'm talking about fractional shares. I ain't even got into dividends and market cap. I don't care about talking about all those big words right now. You can see those in the videos. But it's people out there right now would rather go watch some gossiping shit than to get their money straight. Excuse my language, but that's what's happening. And they saying the generational wealth. They worried about AI. I ain't worried about AI taking no job. Why? Because I'm investing in AI. By the time they take all the jobs, I'm going to have all the money I need. That's the mindset I have. I'm not really even worried about generational wealth because I've already built that. One of the things I started looking at while researching this was a living trust. And when I talk to you, if y'all know, how many people here right now got a will? I don't have a will. And I'm glad I don't, because I'd rather have a living trust. And I'm going to talk about it here in a second. I figure if I can put something in a slot machine on a chance, I can definitely invest some of it. Yeah. Look at this here. Hey, what's up? Hey, one set, man. I like that one set. Now I'm about to. I just see the little symbols and stuff here, and I ain't even read the comment. 34 years old by SMH. Y'all, this is when you become a master of your craft. I'm gonna read all these little symbols. I'm gonna tell you exactly what they are. SMH is the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. You semiconductor, NVIDIA, AMD, anything dealing with AI, the little chips and all that stuff is in SMH. How do I know that? I ain't running around here taking no classes. I read. I take advantage of the opportunities that's in front of me. This laptop right here that's about this big, I'm on Google. If I ain't on that, if I can get it out of my pocket, I'm on this other little computer I got. Everybody else running around here texting and Instagramming. Now I do Google, man. I don't even know what version I got. This might be an iPhone 2. I don't know. VOO, S&P 500. That is the Vanguard S&P 500. It invests in the top 500 companies in America, 506 or 508 to be exact. NASDAQ 100, QQQ or QQQM. It invests in the top 100 companies. Oh, it's probably 121, something like that. On NASDAQ, growth companies. Every one of these I have investments in. If I can do it, anybody out here can do it. And you can have $3 right now and get $1 in one, $1 in another, and $1 in another. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying what you can do. $5 to $10 a day. Slow and streaky, my shares are adding up. Hey, do me a favor. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. That's all I'm saying. Sandra said, bring it, Rod. Hey, what's up, Susanna? Thank you for being here. Says, hi, everyone. Y'all share this out, man. Let's get more people in here. I do. Just asking for a friend, and I did a budgeting live stream. It was off the chain, man. I learned some stuff from her. That's another thing, man. I got a degree in finance. I got a channel on finance. That don't mean I can't learn more. It's some things out there I'm not doing. If you want to build wealth, I'm telling you want to build wealth, it's two things you need to do right off the bat, starting tomorrow. Well, 3. Open your eyes, close your mouth, and open your ears. Open, close, open. Open your eyes and read. Close your mouth, do less talking. Open your ears and do more listening. I guarantee you'll be amazed at what you can learn. And don't think you know everything. Since we got it up here, I'm going to talk about a living trust. Let's say you have a 401k, and I ain't wishing no bad luck on nobody. I'm kind of jumping around here, but I'm going to type all this stuff up so you can kind of go in the order I have it here. But you have a 401k. God forbid, we're going to use, I don't know, Charlie. Ain't nobody here named Charlie, is it? Hopefully not. Charlie got a 401k. Something happened to Charlie. Charlie is no longer with us, but Charlie had a spouse. He had beneficiaries. He had beneficiaries listed for his 401k. Anybody want to guess what happened to that money when Charlie go away? It goes into what they call probate. It goes to the courts. They start taking fees and administrative fees and all this. And by the time Charlie's beneficiaries get it, it's not what it was. It's not what it was. But I'm going to read to you what a living trust is. Let me get up in here, and it's probably way down here somewhere. We're going to talk about some real estate too. Here we go. A living trust is a legal document and financial agreement created during our lifetime. Our lifetime. What happened to a will? You got to be gone for the will to execute, ladies and gentlemen. Living trust is just what it said. You can move stuff around when you're living. Will, you're gone. You ain't got no more say so. It's that simple. All right, that places your assets into a trust, allowing a designated trustee to manage them for your benefit and seamlessly distribute them to your beneficiaries upon your death. You have a trustee that's going to distribute, per that document, the assets. I'm not going to read all these 3 different people, but the key benefits of a living trust is on the screen. Sandra put it up here. First of all, you're going to bypass probate. Unlike a traditional will, assets transferred into a living trust pass directly to your beneficiaries without going through the public, often expensive and time-consuming court process known as probate. You got to live in trust. You skipping all the expenses and all the words we don't like to hear. Can you imagine this? I mean, we ain't gonna be here to know about it. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But can you imagine saving all this money you done work for, and by the time it dwindled down and go through the court systems and all this other stuff, it's half of what it was? Living trust, you ain't got to really worry about that. All right. Now, this is another thing. I bet you people don't know this here. When you got a living trust, it's private, baby. Can't nobody access it. But when you got a will, it's public knowledge. Did y'all know that? I bet y'all didn't. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know it before today either. So you got a will, everybody. Now, they might not know what all you got in there, but they'll know you have a will. But if you have a living trust, it's private. Ain't nobody knowing nothing but the trustee and the beneficiaries. So you can dictate when and how your beneficiaries receive their inheritance, distributing funds and installments to younger beneficiaries. Let's say one of the beneficiaries is 16. Well, you might not want to give $1 million or $1 million to a 16-year-old. You may want to say when you get 20, now, what I like about these living trusts, you have two types. You have revocable and you have irrevocable. Now, revocable, I'm sorry I'm using these bigger words, but that's what they have here. The most common type is a revocable. As long as you are competent and in your right mind, you can change, modify, or completely dissolve the trust at any time. It becomes irrevocable upon your death. So obviously you can't change it if you ain't here to change it, but I'm just saying, y'all don't need to do that. But if somebody get mad at somebody in the family and you don't want them in there no more, usually a will, you got to go through a whole bunch of hoopla. Here you can just take them out. Irrevocable trust, living trust. Once established, you generally cannot change or remove assets from the trust without the beneficiary's permission. It is less flexible, but others benefits like protection from creditors or estate tax reductions. All right. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, regardless of what you hear in this live, go and talk to a professional, an estate planning attorney. It's a lot deeper. I'm just touching really, really surface level stuff here. So you need to go and actually do your own due diligence and do research. So, all right, moving right along. Now, there's a thing called a pour over will. Pour, like you're pouring some water over will. And what it does, it is put alongside a trust to catch any assets that was not transferred into the trust before the person who established the trust passed away. Pour over. So now you're covering all bases. Now this is more than that generational wealth, because now we're passing stuff down to offspring and family members. Now with this here, the assets that can be in this living trust, you can have a home, bank accounts, investments, any specific goals or concerns you have, such as avoiding probate or planning for children. The way to get started with this is you have to get an estate attorney. You have Charles Schwab, Fidelity. I'm telling you, it's expensive, but you can manage it yourself. I would probably want to have an estate attorney manage it myself, or Charles Schwab will manage it for a fee, and Fidelity will manage it for a fee. But I'm going to tell y'all some of the difference. So a living trust, it bypasses probate. A will does not. The court, can you imagine this here now? With living trust, the trustee oversees how the money is distributed. But with a will, do you know how your money is decided, how it's going to get distributed? From the court, from the people that don't even know you. They don't know you, your family, your cousin, your cousin's cousin, but they distributing your money. They don't even make no damn sense to me. I mean, none. So when it comes to a living trust, it's completely private. When you have a will, it is public record. Anyone can review who receives your assets. So I'm telling you, man, you got a will. You know, I remember y'all, you used to watch Fred Sanford and Jeffersons and or even some of the new shows, they read off the will where you can go view who received your assets, and you might not know everything they got, but if somebody said they ain't get something and you got a will, it's a public record, you can find out if they really did or they really didn't. Living trust, you can't do that, man. It's all private. Asset control. Something happens to the person who established this trust. They're no longer with us. With a living trust, it takes effect immediately. Manages assets while you are alive and while you're not. You can manage them the whole time. But a will, it only takes effect when you ain't here no more. You ain't got no say so. You ain't here. I mean, you might have, and then you ain't got no control over who getting what, because you got to go through probate. All right, cost and complexity. Living trust, more expensive and complex to set up and fund. A will is simpler and much more affordable to set up initially. So it may, if you want to go the cheap route, get a will, you may be able to move over to a living trust. A child guardianship. A living trust cannot be used to name guardians for minor children. So you can't use no living trust. Say, well, unmarried is going to be the guardian for little Timmy. It don't work like that. But a will is the only document that can name guardians for minor children. So in a will, unmarried, I can make whoever Uncle Billy, and Uncle Billy might not be the parent. Obviously, if he's Uncle Billy, he might not be the person who's raised the child or anything, but he could be the guardian for the minor child. That's how I set it up if I have a will. Maybe I don't like unmarried. That was my sister, but I don't like it. Never did. Y'all make it. I'm having fun here, but that's what really happened, man. Hey, what's up, Taya? Let me go over here and see what we got in here. Let me see what we got in here. YouTube experiment was squeezed. I don't know what happened to Charlie. All right. Sandra said, this is what you're teaching here rocks and necessary. Thank you so much, Sandra. I really appreciate that. And like I said earlier, man, I'm not knocking nobody. Yeah, I watch my my fun stuff. I watch stuff that really don't teach me anything. We all need entertainment. I was talking to Tanya on the phone the other day, and I was talking about our content. And we do things that will forever be here. Right now, man, money, finances, it ain't never going nowhere. Never. And it's a lot of us right now. I've been there. If something happened tomorrow, and I spent a good amount of my 20s living like this. If something happened when I was in my 20s, I'm one paycheck away from being homeless. Because I didn't make the necessary steps. I didn't take the opportunities that were in front of me. I didn't educate myself. You don't have, you got people right now doing it for you. You got the Rods of the world, the Lisa J. Stocks, the Wall Street Trappers, the Chris Sain, Larry Jones. I'm naming out people y'all probably never even heard of. These are the people I watch and I learn from. The Mommy Trader, who I've had on this show. Mommy Trader's a 41-year-old millionaire. And she says she's just a regular person around the corner. We can all be that, man. But we have to take the necessary steps. We can't have generational wealth until we get wealth. We can't have wealth until we save or invest money. We can't save or invest money until we stop frivolously spending money. Y'all see how this works? It's not chemistry or what's that other stuff? Calculus or trigonometry. This is everyday common sense. All right, let me go through here. YouTube said, what happened to Charlie? Didn't know that, Rod, about the being public information, just asking for a friend. Keisha says she didn't either. Shay says, thanks for sharing your knowledge with us, Rod. Hey, no problem. No problem. I really enjoy this, man. This is when I was coming up, nobody did. I mean, not in this as I could go read a book. I can go to the library and hope the book was there. But I had no one that would get on a camera and take the time out and actually enjoy. Neither one of these channels that I'm broadcasting on right now are fully monetized. I'm doing this because I want to see people come up. It's one thing when you know better and don't do better, but when you don't know and you haven't been afforded the opportunity, that's the reason we used to be able to use. My mama didn't know it. My daddy didn't know it, and mine didn't. But my brother and I self-taught ourselves, and now if I say that, it would be a straight up excuse. Can I not go sit at the pool? Can I not go sit outside for half the day and maybe take 30 minutes and watch a video, read an ebook, Google something? I learn something, try to learn something every day. All right. I don't want to have anything else to do with the court. They get no more say about what happens to me or my money ever again. Hey, I don't know what happened, but hey, that's a strong thing. What's going on? My co-host, Tanya Vent Yours of Spirits, just event yours with the channel, and also TNT Connect. Y'all go check those out. Hey, Rob, what's popping, man? We over here talking about them coins, Tanya. That's all. We're just talking about building that generational wealth. Timmy and I, we're just finalizing our estate planning right on time. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all, I'm gonna be real with you, man, and I can't relate to no other group of people because I'm only in one group. I don't know anybody that's an African American. Now, I guess I do now, Tanya and Timmy, that had an estate. And that was I got a huge family. I don't know nobody. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't. I didn't know about it. They didn't talk about it. And if they're not, that's another thing, man. Why don't we talk to our kids? When I was a kid, our money was a damn secret. It was a secret. It was like, how can the kids, how the hell we creating generational wealth when we don't want to tell the people that's going to pass it down to, or the generation we're going to pass it to? That is why when we do have money and we pass it down to the next generation, it gets screwed up. Because it was a secret. Didn't nobody want to tell nobody nothing. Hey, all right, we give them allowance. And what happened? Not so much now, but back when I was a little whippersnapper, we gave a kid $1. That's all I got, maybe $2 on a good day. We went to Kmart. How many of y'all remember Kmart? We bought us a Hot Wheels, my little brother and I. We wasn't nobody talking to the kids about saving no money. When I graduated high school, I'd never forget, I got $600 and it was from neither one of my parents. My pops was in the street doing drugs and my mom was trying to make it. I'm just telling y'all the truth. My aunt, she had created something, $600. That was my graduation gift. I'll never forget that because I received something. And a lot of my peers didn't receive anything. Nobody where I grew up got no cars. They might have got a pair of Levi's or some slacks or something, parachute pants or something, but it wasn't nothing major. So, all right, let me jump in here. Let me keep going here. Everybody's speaking to Tanya. Everybody's showing Tanya love. Everybody's showing. Sandra says, and what you write in your will, what you want to have done with your money don't really matter. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because it ain't going to be all that. Ain't going to be there no more. It's got to go through probate. I'm telling you, man, boy, y'all keep on watching whatever's on Netflix right now or Hulu and all that. Them people got money. They already got money. Most of them. If you're passed away, people do whatever they want regardless of what was written or what was wrote. That's true. We ain't got no say so. Statistics. The choices I made caused the court to decide my fate. I won't have a will because of what you are saying right now, my friend. Wow. I had no idea, man. Shay said Kmart was my mom's favorite store over Walmart. All right. My first husband didn't know how to write a check. He worked and saved, but he had no knowledge of managing his money. Listen to what Tanya's saying. How many people right now go out there and bust their butts, man? But they don't have the financial literacy to know what you got people out there making buku money, but they don't know how to flip it. You watch my videos on Investment Rod. I say all the time, man, go to IHOP, look at the griddle. I'm going to be that dude back there flipping money like pancakes, baby, all day, every day. All day. I'm going to pull, I might, if depending on how much time long I've been on here. I'm going to pull up the account that I use on here is Robinhood. It's a player account just for the channel, Investing with Rod. But every stock you see in there is in my major brokerages, my Fidelity, my JP Morgan Chase, which is Chase. Yo, I got and I ain't wealthy. I ain't nowhere near, but I have a JP Morgan wealth management account. They're managing my wealth, no matter how big or small. It's a lot of it's the mindset, man. A lot of it's the mindset. What up, Big Rick? I see you in the house. I can't say that's Keisha's word, in the building. 10 real homies in the crib. All right, let me jump back in here. So we talked about irrevocable trust, what you can't change, revocable trust. Now, I ain't saying this. This is what the experts say. I did some digging. When do you choose a will over a living trust? If you have minor children, these are when you may want to choose a will. A will essentially for legally designating a guardian for your kids. You can have a guardian with a will. You have a smaller estate. You don't have a major estate. I don't know if I can buy this, but I'm going to read it anyway. If you do not own real estate and your total assets are minimal, I do understand. Now, and I'm going to explain it to y'all. Probate may be short and inexpensive, making a will sufficient. The more you have, the longer the probate process going through the courts. The less you have, it ain't that much. First of all, I don't know why I go to no damn probate anyway. I don't care if you got a lot or a little. What they got to do with it? I mean, I got it on paper where I want my money to go. What is it? I can't even get the words out. Why is it there? But anyway, so if you got a smaller estate, it don't take the court that long to decide what they're going to do with your money. Or you want a simpler setup. When Wills are straightforward and cost effective to draft compared to the detailed legal work required for a trust. I actually am part of a trust fund right now. And one of the things that motivated me, and hopefully I can motivate someone tonight, just listen at this story. My great grandfather, I think I never got a chance to talk to him much because he was mean, but I think the last time I saw him, I was about 6. He has a trust fund. He left each of his kids, I'm sure he had a life insurance policy. I didn't think at first, but he left each of his kids $100,000 apiece. My great grandfather in Arkansas. You want to look it up, Elaine, Arkansas. Look up Elaine, Arkansas. ELA. I'm going to put it in the comments. Look this up. Look up Elaine, Arkansas. See what happened there. It was equivalent to what they call the Black Wall Street. I want to say it was North Carolina. I watched the documentary. North Carolina. I can't remember if it was Wilmington, Elaine, Arkansas, and Tulsa was places that they did not want to exist because of the knowledge of the finance markets there. My great grandfather lived near Elaine, Arkansas. During the Great Depression, he accumulated enough assets. He left each of his 4 kids 60 acres of property apiece. 60 acres. Forget the mule. And they all got 20 more than they were supposed to get through his hard work and his efforts and his labor. He left each one of them $100,000 apiece in 1976. Calculate that to today's money, it's not $100,000. It passed down, and the one I'm under is my grandmother's name because that was his daughter. And between January and April, I get a check every year. And when I'm gone, my beneficiaries, which are my 2 daughters, they will split my portion. I'm not going to call it generational wealth, but it's a generational something. We got to start with something instead of settling for nothing. We may not get to generational wealth, but I tell that story 76, let me see, that's 50 years ago. I'm pretty quick with numbers. He passed in 76. 50 years later, I'm still talking about it. And it ain't really that much money to talk about. It's the thought and the principality behind it. See what else we got in here. No, I ain't making it up. Tell you, man, don't make me share my screen. I ain't gonna do it right now because I got too much. But and now for real, look, Tanya always messing with me. Look it up. Look it up. Hey, I bet you Timmy maybe have heard of it, Tanya. All right. Real estate. Let's talk about real estate. I remember, boy, this was one of the top 10 dumb things I've ever done in my life. But I remember, okay, thank you, Keisha, thank you. She said, I've heard of it. One of the top 10 things I did in my life. Y'all, there's opportunity. I'm going to give y'all an example of an opportunity. Tara, I see your comment. I'm getting ready to read it. I'm going to go ahead and put it up there. I forgot what year it was, but my younger brother called me and he said, hey, man, Tanya, I guess I'm making this name up too. Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Look it up. Look it up. I bought some property in Hot Springs Village because my brother said, man, all we trying to do, and listen to this, y'all, this is crazy. All we trying to do, if we get, Tanya got me laughing, y'all. Man, I'm sorry. I don't want y'all to think I'm just over here kidding, man. Do y'all have a Monique, Arkansas? What about a Jamie? No, they probably do, though. So my brother said, man, we buy this property. We can go play on this private golf course. Now, I'm in California at the time. I'm not even in Arkansas. I said, how much is it, man? He said, $1,275. And I want to say I got a third, it was more than quite like a third acre or something. I never even saw this place. I saw a picture of it. It had a bunch of trees on it. That's it. And one day, I think I needed some money or something. But instead of going and getting a loan to suffice, I took the path of the two L's, the path of least resistance and the path of laziness. I didn't feel like going to the bank and applying for no loan and all that. I just said, man, I'm going to sell my property. That $1,275 at the time when I sold it was worth $25,000. $25,000. $23,000 in profit. Boy, I was happier than, ooh, boy, man, all my problems was gone. But what would that be worth today had I just took the time and the effort and the energy and go and get a loan and still have that property to pass down to my daughters, my grandkids. I have a little third cousin that stole my heart when I met her when I went back to Arkansas for my father's homegoing. She's the only child I've ever done with, and her mother was right there. She's the only child I've ever done a live stream with, and I can't even remember the name of it to share it with nobody. The only child I've ever done a live stream with, and she was 4 at the time. She will be in whatever I get, living trust will, something, whatever I got. So let me see. I have heard of it, Elaine. Okay, I read that. Oh, I got to read what Tara said. Tara said, at my job, people always come in and say the car was left in a will, and we don't acknowledge wills. If your assets are over $60,000, you automatically have to go to probate court. There you go, y'all. Your house gonna be maybe good. With your house, let me Google that. Let me Google it. But that may be where Tara is living. Does your home automatically go to probate? Y'all see what I'm doing right now? When I don't know something, I ain't got to, I used to say, I'll look it up. Boy, I bet they be wondering, what is this dude doing over there? The stuff I be Googling, man. All right, here it is right here. Whether a home goes to probate depends entirely on how it is titled and your estate planning. If owned solely by you without designated beneficiaries, if you ain't got no designated beneficiary, I'm gonna tell y'all another story too. It generally does require probate. However, homes pass automatically to survivors and bypass probate if they are jointly owned with rights of ownership, placed in a living trust, or assigned a transfer on death deed, TODD. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Look. Okay, you work at the DMV. Okay, gotcha. Hey, what's up, homesteader Rachel? What up, Time? Hey, man, y'all, if you got a beneficiary at your job, just go review it. If you got any kind of 401k, 401b, thrift savings plan, whatever you got, stock accounts, brokerage accounts, look at you. Man, there was a lot of people in the Navy, boy. They had beneficiaries, and they ain't go check it, and something happened, and the person that was supposed to get the money, that thought they was getting the money, didn't get the money. It was somebody else. I forgot what just asking for a friend called. Used to be or something like that. It was somebody of the past. So go check your stuff. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know, who is this here? CAI. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, man? How you doing? Thanks. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Hey, Lisa, if you want to come up and talk about some of this, hey, I ain't putting you on the spot. Please stay. I'm just saying I am. And I had said, if you came in, if you wanted to come up, I would definitely drop the link. And all we're talking about, Lisa, and everybody is just save it. Like, I know because I watch Lisa J. Stock's channel. Let me pull her name up, then I'm going to come back to Time. I watch, so I know that she is teaching her daughter how to invest. And this goes back to what I was saying. Money shouldn't be a secret to our children. Let's talk to them about money. They're not teaching it in schools. I didn't care about no geometry and no trigonometry and algebra and A plus B equals Z and all. You know what I needed to know? Addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, and percentages. I'd have been cool right there. Now, I ain't talking about English and all. I'm talking about in the math department. Point blank in chat, family, respect and bless, stay blessed and balanced in life. All right. All right, let me see what Rachel said. You know what? My mom did. You titled her home. You titled her home in my name years after she passed. When she passed, there was nothing to do. You know what? My mom did. She titled her home in my name years before she passed. When she passed, there was nothing to do. There you go. Okay, I'll share it right here. Let me. I gotta get the link. Let me put it over here. And y'all, this wasn't this. Anything I do is not scripted, so I just dropped the link, Lisa. It should be coming up momentarily. Uh, and that's cool right there. And that's thinking ahead, man. That's thinking ahead. Everybody's speaking to each other. Yeah, I dropped the link. I dropped it. So whenever you're ready, just come on up. All right. Just asking for a friend. Keisha said one of the things that you can do is if you have a bank account, you can put a beneficiary on that bank account so that the money goes straight to whomever you want it to. Yes, but some bank accounts may go through probate too, Keisha. Um, just check with the bank, check with your local laws, because you know, with this being a union, a lot of every state got probably different laws. So everybody's speaking. So, and here comes Lisa, and I'm gonna give her. Lisa, you ready? I think she's ready. Lisa, stay ready, man. What's going on? Oh, we have a. You're
Oh,
too long.
okay. Do you need me to mute or?
Yeah, mute your YouTube. Now, don't mute you. Just your whatever device you're watching YouTube. You may have another tab open.
Okay, did that do anything?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, okay. I closed it out.
So
So,
it's a if you have a tab when you're watching me on YouTube, you have to close it out. StreamYard is going to do that.
okay, okay. So, what are we talking about? I just finished my live and I actually dropped your link at the end of my live. So, I said, if you all want to come over with me, I'm heading over here for more financial uh, discussion. And then you invited me up.
Well, thanks for joining. I still hear a slight echo.
Okay, I'm sorry. I might just have to mute every time I'm not talking.
Yeah, if you're watching or playing it on YouTube, it's going to do that.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, you might
Well,
have
let
to.
me know if if the quality's not good and you don't want me to be up right now because I don't know what else I could do.
Okay, no, we got to have you up here. Just, I think we'll get to it. I don't hear it now. So, uh, yeah, see, someone has, and I don't have any other screens. But what we're basically talking about, Lisa, is just I titled it "Creating Generational Wealth," but what I want to focus on is creating wealth. And when you came in, I was kind of talking about, teaching our children, talking to our children, not spending money on frivolous items, maybe investing, all the stuff we normally talk about. Not, if you invested $10 a day for how long?
I did my VCI for 3 years and maybe 4 months.
$10 a day for 3 years and 4 months. Yes, still. You know what, Lisa? What I would do is come out and come back in, just make sure everything, and I'll drop the link again. So that way, just go out and come right back in and just make sure everything's shut down. And Lisa will be right back, y'all. She has a lot of knowledge to share. I'm going to drop the link so she can see it. Yeah, Michelle was here. I don't know if she's still here. And Rachel said, if nothing else, have a POD on your bank account. Hey, what's a POD, Rachel? I just want to make sure everyone knows. I'm not, I know several PODs. So I want to make sure we're not saying the wrong things. So, and yeah, she knows how to do it. Appreciate it. She knows how to do it. It sounds like it's just she probably had YouTube on somewhere, maybe a phone or somewhere. She was watching the live. So she'll be back momentarily. But and I'm gonna, when Lisa come back, I'm gonna talk about some of the places you can invest your money, because you have to start somewhere. We talk about high yield savings accounts. If you have, say, direct deposit going to a credit union or a typical bank like a Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, wherever you got your money, a local credit union, You may want to look at, say, a Discover Bank. Who else do I have? PayPal. PayPal has a savings account. And I see Lisa coming back. PayPal has a savings account where you can get about 3.65%. You have Capital One, Ally. It's so many different high yield savings accounts, and just put some of your money there. Now, the bad part about that is, yeah, it is, yeah, it is, man, it is Michigan State Spartans, man. The bad thing about, if you don't have when you have a high yield savings account, there is typically no building to walk into. You will get a debit card, but if you need to talk to someone, it's going to be over the phone. You're not going to drive over to your local bank like you normally would. That's why I say put some of your money there and maybe some of it in a regular place where you can get to it, but you'll have a debit card. Another thing I want to talk about, I know we're talking about generational wealth, so I'm just kind of doing some stuff here. Uh, okay, I think Lisa's connecting her mic and stuff. One of the things, when you have these different savings accounts and different accounts, make sure I try to build a relationship if I have a local branch. Because if you have a mishap, I had something go down a couple of weeks ago, and the person that they called to ask about it happened to know me personally. Not related to him, she just happened to know me. But when you have investments or bank accounts, you definitely want to not invest or put up any money you can't afford. Now, when I say savings account, I put, let's say, I'm gonna be real with you. Let's say I get a $2,000 check, and here's Lisa. All right, can you hear me now, Lisa?
I can hear you. How's the sound now?
Perfect.
Okay, so
Perfect.
I came in back in on my phone
Okay.
because I thought it would be better as the
But
computer
it's
seems to.
still kind of, it looked like you're up here kind of, sort of. I mean, it's your picture. So Lisa, tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do, and maybe it's something. I mean, this, you know me, I don't structure it. I just kind of will it free. I do have some notes here. We have talked about living trust and wills, and we don't have to get into all that. But basically, I just want to, you were talking about 3 years and 4 months of $10 a day in VTI, and we're going to throw letters around. VTI, everyone, is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, exchange traded funds. Think of all the U.S. companies. I want to say, what is it, at least about 5,600, 6,000 companies in one investment. And
Well, I
you don't
think
have
it's
to
about.
manage all of them. You just got in one place.
Mhm.
And Lisa did $10 a day. And Lisa, I just got a question before you start talking. Did you ever feel like $10 was too little, or?
No, when I was okay, so that started back in 2022
Mhm,
in Keenan Grace's Discord. That was my
mhm,
first time ever dollar cost averaging in that way on a daily basis. That first 10 weeks of
mhm,
doing that challenge. And yeah, when he said, Lisa, I want you to be a part of this challenge, and share, and we used to have Sunday, we would have voice chats in the Discord as we were getting started with doing that first challenge back then. I thought that $10 a day was a lot. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do this every day. I did think it was a lot.
mhm,
But once I got used to it and I did every one of those investments, I did it manually. That was not a set it and forget it in the app thing. I went
mhm,
in every day and I bought my $10. But no, I didn't think it was small. And I know I've been on live streams and people in the chat have said, like, what is that going to do? Like, as though, what is $10? What is $5? But you brung out the point that makes the difference is I did it for over 3 years straight. That portfolio it's about $13,000. When I got started with that first $500, that first $50 a week, that first, 10 week, that's all we were committing to was 10 weeks, $10 a day. That was the challenge. And then I kept it going all those years.
Wow.
So
$13,000.
that portfolio, I don't even want to touch my phone before I mess something up. But yeah,
Oh, you're fine.
I'm pretty sure. No, sometimes when I start looking at things, I wish I had my other phone. I should tell my daughter to bring it for me. But yeah, that portfolio, let me see. I think I can do it without making any drama.
So
Um,
$10 a day turned into $13,000 yet. Now, let me ask, was it
yeah,
hard finding $10 a day?
it wasn't. $50 was reasonable for my budget. And then I kept that challenge going all the time. But then I had because that was a challenge that was supposed to end in 2022, but I kept it going until 2026. But so obviously over that time span, I had lots of other what I call challenges that I also did that overlapped with it. So at times there could have been two other things that I was doing $10 a day or $5 into one and five into another, because I've definitely been putting in the work over these last few years to build up my positions. But I don't want anyone to think that whatever app I'm using or whatever amount I'm investing, it is real money. You know me, Rod. Me and you have talked a few times over the years. When I start investing into something, I don't want to have one share. I want to have at least, I was just talking about this on my live. It's going to depend on what the share price is, on how fast I can get there. But, I'm going to probably want 20 shares, 15 shares. I'm going to want it to be something substantial that I can really uh, feel has made an impact to my portfolio. So.
Now let me ask you a question, Lisa, because for the people that haven't started, and y'all, this isn't an interview. I'm probably asking questions that I've been wanting to ask Lisa recently as I watch her content. Um, when was it when you first started? Was it hard getting that first share, or when you got that first share? We know it could be difficult. And I know now because I think it was SPMO. You said you were going to have this many shares. I'm like, how in the world is she doing this, man? I mean, it was goals. I'll comment on Lisa's video and say goals. It's goals for me. But when you got that first share, did it just make you want to keep like getting the second and then the fifth? I mean, how important was that?
Um, I have to do what keeps me motivated. Some people they don't want to hear about dollar size goals, share size goal. They just invest.
Mhm.
But but I like to hit share size goals. I'd like to stop what I'm doing and make a video and say, guys, I did it. I got this portfolio to this amount of money. I hit my 200 shares of whatever. I think it's motivation for me, but I also, whether it's through the rough times, I always, you haven't seen my channel go dark for a month since I started. And so I'm going to share when through the good and the bad. Look at the first 3 months of this year. There wasn't much of anything good to say,
Nope.
but lots of people. I post. I do my posts in the Discord. I try to send out encouragement. I try to keep on doing my videos and my live streams because I want people to know that you can't the investing, it's don't look at that little 3 month snapshot and get discouraged. We got to keep going. And when 2036 roll around, we might barely be able to remember the tariffs and the this and the that. We're going to be in a different stage of life, and we just got to put in the work right now.
I love it. Put in the work, and a lot of people, Lisa, I mean, people are worried right now, and I know people with the mindset like you and we keep going regardless of what the news is, what the people. I mean, we know what the news is saying, but we don't stop. We don't pump the brakes. Now, one question I want to ask you, don't have to. You can be as detailed as you want to be or not want to be. Have you ever faced any adversity where you felt like, I mean, some challenges where you maybe couldn't invest or you still made a way to invest, even though it may not have seemed like the best decision? I don't care if it was $2, $200, or whatnot.
Have I ever faced adversity? I would
Like,
say, like, okay,
I know some, but I don't want to say it unless you say it because you said you shared it on your channel.
which one, Rod? You can say
Well,
what you.
I think you were talking about you lost your job.
Oh, I've lost. Well, listen, I've been laid off and laid off and laid off again. That one, yes. I mean, yes, I've had my adversity. I call them the lean years. I've been through the lean years. I was a teenage mom. I was a child of teenage parents, and I was a teenage mom myself. I didn't graduate college until I was nearly 30 years old. So and I've been through everything, every type of car repair, every type of home repair that you can mention. I've been through it. I've been in a car accident. I was driving an older car totaled,
Mm.
and I only got about maybe $3,600 when my car was totaled. At that time, this was some years ago, but even at that time, I couldn't go nowhere and get a car to replace that car. That car meant so much to me, and I wasn't in a place where it wasn't in my agenda. It was not in my budget. I was not saving for the next vehicle because that vehicle was old, but it was running. I had no intention of having to replace it. So, yes, I've been through adversity, but one thing that I never did through it all, I had my daughter, my second daughter was a difficult pregnancy. I
Hmm.
was home for 2 months. I was laying down for 2 months before her due date. So, and then I was home for another couple of months after she was born. So I say all that to say that through all of those different things, what I didn't do was tap into my 401k or stop contributing to my 401k. Even when I was on medical leave, I still contributed to my 401k. Even when my salary was not 100%, I was only getting partial,
Hmm.
and I still contributed. I don't know how I made it through. Even through 2008, I don't know how I made it through some of these time periods, but I just did it. It just worked out for me. And I was just saying in my own live stream that I have carried debt over the years. Thankfully, the only debt that I have now is mortgage debt.
Hmm.
But I'm glad that I never cheated myself by disrupting the power of compound interest and my portfolio's building. And now, I have it's you may not think it's substantial, but I'm proud of what I've achieved. And even someone in my chat today was saying that most people, and statistically, it's true what they were saying, that most people in their, mid 60s to late 60s only have 200,000 in their investment portfolio.
You know, and that's not going to make it. I mean,
That's
200,000, it may sound like a lot of money to a lot of people, but that's when you start deducting and don't have any inflow and you got outflows, that's not a lot of money. Uh, I'm going to read just asking for a friend Keisha's comment here, but I want to point out something Lisa said, and we've all faced this. No matter what she went through, she kept going, and she don't know how she made it, but the point of the matter is she made it. Sometimes we don't know how we're going to make it or how we made it. And I will tell you, I used to forget about this one investment. But because not only is Lisa consistent with investing, she's consistent with her content. It was one investment, FXAIX, which is the Fidelity S&P 500 ETF or index fund. I
mhm.
couldn't remember to keep. Now I got it down because I kept every time Lisa did a video, she had more and more money. Like, and she just talked about compound interest. She did not tap into her money. I just talked about instead of taking another route, I sold property that I paid kibbles and bits for a large sum of money. But what would it be worth today had I not tapped into it? Just asking for a friend. So I don't blame you for being upset because I'm like you. The car was running. That is all we needed to do. As long as the car is running. And I can't. I'm just gonna say Jay. Jay said very good point. It's not enough because it's not gonna. It is not gonna be enough. That's Lisa. One of the things I know. I know you said not long ago, and I got some catching up to do with content because I've been a little busy. But you shifted kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but instead of dividends investment, you're focusing more on growth investments now. Is that correct?
I am. I am. I feel like I was going the wrong direction.
Hmm.
And you know me, I'm about being transparent, and I made a video about it. And that's why you have to follow your own path and your own journey. And it was earlier this month I was actually live in KGU, and
Hmm.
KG popped up on my live stream. And he basically said, if you're over, if you're in your, if you're not in your 60s or 70s, you don't need to be focused on dividend investments. And I said, overall, I do agree with KG, but what I'm going to say is everyone has it might be the right fit for you. If you are planning on early retirement at 50, then you need that steady, stable dividend, investment so that you know what your income is going to be. So SCHD, Main Street, some other REITs or BDC might be the right fit for you. For me right now, I'm not in that preservation stage. I'm not ready to draw from my accounts for income. And so I decided to be more focused on the SMH, the SPMO, individual stocks like Microsoft, which I'm waiting for the days when it gets itself up to $600. I'm trying to focus on growth. And then from there, um, down the road, I don't know exactly how many years, I'm going to have to shift to what I call the preservation stage when I want to have more stability and income coming from my portfolio. But for now, I'm focused on growth because I want to maximize getting my money up and then being able to shift it to that place of being more like the high yield savings account, not literally, but in something that is not going to have that substantial growth, but still be able to protect me and have me on track for what I need.
Right. And there's a lot of people right now. I can't remember where I read it. There are a lot of people that are over 50 right now that don't have pensions. Pensions are a thing of the past. And one of the things I like what Lisa's talking about with these growth investments, growth stocks, she mentioned the SMH, which is the VanEck Semiconductor ETF, the SPMO, which is Invesco Momentum ETF. They have growth companies, companies that are going to continue to grow. They're not focused on giving X amount of dividend. They're focused on growing. They may give you a smaller dividend, but they're going to grow. Right now, I look today in my Webull account, and some of the percent, I think I was up 151% on AMD, and I forgot about it. And I want that problem more often. I want to forget about more stocks and more ETFs and go back in there at 25%. You know, if we don't have pensions right, and their pensions are kind of becoming a thing of the past, we're creating our own pensions. I know you have a 401k, but I have a goal. Right now, I have a military retirement. So I get that check the rest of my life until the day I'm gone. I want to be able, my goal, and I don't know what Lisa's goal is. And I talked about financial goals earlier. What is Lisa's been saying? She said it 3 times. She's been up here. She's doing what works for her, not works for what works for other people, not what the masses are saying. She's doing what works for her. What are your financial goals? My financial goal right now is to, will there be a SSI or Social Security when I get ready to for real retire? Maybe not. So I want to have me a account that I can take X amount of money per month for my living expenses. I already got my military retirement, and that goes up. I get a COLA increase, a cost of living allowance every year with that. But I think it's coming to a point now. We have to, and Lisa, give me your thoughts. We have to create these things for ourselves now. Is that a safe thing to say, Lisa, or would you say that we can just
Yes.
hope it happens? you know?
No, I definitely agree with you. And I always put it like this. I feel there will be something. Everyone will get something because they want us to go out and vote. No matter what administration is in there, they can't have us go to work for 30, 40, 50 years and then tell us you don't get anything. So there will be something. But I'm just like, the numbers that I'm seeing are just so insignificant. I wish you could take a test and prove that you could do it yourself. This is just me dreaming. Because I know I could do so much better than for this money to be taken out of my check for me in the future to potentially get whatever piddly amount they're going to give me as Social Security in the future. But it don't work like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to get something, but we see what it is. We see what the economy, the way things can shift.
Mhm.
I was actually at the supermarket a couple of days ago, and in the produce area, and I was using the scale. I haven't used that scale to weigh my veggies and fruits in so long. I said, let me go on over to the scale because I don't need a shock when I get up to this register today. Because these cherries and these asparagus and
Right.
these things are so expensive. I don't want to accidentally grab 2.5 pounds of whatever. But I'm just saying that to say that is a true story. But I'm just sharing to say, whether it's at the gas station, the supermarket, car repairs, car insurance, I can't think of anything in my finances that has not gone up drastically. And what doesn't go up is your income. Our paychecks, you don't I was telling my daughter, she had a little part-time job. I don't think she hasn't even been there a year yet, but she got a part-time job, and she got a nice raise. Percentage wise, she got a nice raise. It wasn't a 2% raise. And I told her, I sat down with her and we was talking a little bit about, I was giving her some of my most substantial raises by percentage, just to share with her that it doesn't happen like that often. A lot of people, when they get a raise, it's 2 to 3%,
Yes.
while inflation and everything that they have to deal with on a daily basis has gone up a whole lot more than that little 2 or 3%. So you get what I'm saying, right, Ron?
You're right, Lisa, because I did, I think it was Keisha and I did a show on the classroom where it was, I think inflation was up 3.8% or expected to be up 3.8% in
Mm-hmm.
2026. And I used 2 to 2.5% as a raise increase.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you right now, that's just an average, just 3 point. If you look at everything, like Lisa was just saying, gas, utilities, everything is going up. And I tell you what, you put your money in the bank if you wanna, and in X amount of years, 10 years, see where that money is and how high everything is going, you're gonna wish you would have listened to what we're saying right now. We're not telling you where to put your money. We're not even telling you to invest. We're just saying become knowledgeable. We show you our journeys. I show you my journey. Alicia show you her journey. It's up to y'all. Let me do this real quick. Hey Jerry, sweet dreams to you too. I'm gonna go to bed and we'll catch the replay. Thank you for being here. Please get some rest. I know you had that procedure today. Please get some rest and thank you for being a subscriber, a channel member, a viewer. You're everything. So thank you so much. But please get some rest and just catch the replay. Thank you. I saw what Keisha had put in there and then saw that. So sorry about that. But what we're telling y'all right now, I don't know. I'm older than Lisa, but man, there was no place when I was a younger 20-year-old where I could go and get this kind of information. I wish there was.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be so much farther along right now. I had to go to libraries. I had to read the newspapers and try to decipher stuff I didn't even understand. And then by the time I understood it, I didn't get my degree till I was 48, but I knew most of the stuff and I got a business degree with a minor in finance. But now you have people like Lisa live every Sunday. I'm not live on Investing with Rod every Sunday. You can go over there and she's talking about stuff that's you don't need a degree to understand what she's saying. You can go over there, understand it, and just say, hey, I may not try that, but I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna read and see what works for me. I'm gonna see what works for Bobby and Billy and Johnny, and what works for Lisa may not work for you. What works for Rob may not work for you. But if you sitting around and you're not doing anything, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not hurting Rob. You're not hurting Lisa. You're hurting yourself. So Sandra said, I am still here. I am listening so hard. There is no room for speaking, but listening. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, right now, man, I'm telling you, and it to hear Lisa's, and I knew what she had went through. I just didn't want to say it, but I knew she had. I want to say it was the end of last year, Lisa. You was like, I got laid off. But she never
I,
talked about stop investing.
you know, really, that is, I've shared with you my story of
Mhm.
hearing Larry Jones speak, and Shalice, Mommy Trader, asking him a question, and just like what it was sparking inside of me of, okay, there is room for someone else to do this, and I might be a different face. I might be able to connect with a different audience, but another big part of what got me started is between those layoffs, I was left with those different 401ks. And I wanted to make sure that I was maximizing my money
Mhm.
because I was going through the interruption of having to look for my next role over and over. Sometimes it came quickly. One time I was in my next role within 2 months, but sometimes it was more substantial. There was a year when I took on a contract role for a whole year, um, before getting into a full time opportunity. But the thing is that wanting to make sure, but having to go through those little time periods of not being in my regular corporate job, contributing to my 401k in the same way that I usually would, um, it really made me want to focus on gaining my knowledge in order to maximize those accounts. And one of the accounts is that from my very first job, because I don't combine my retirement accounts. I have several accounts over at Fidelity.
Mhm.
But the one that you mentioned already today, that I have the largest 750 shares of FXAIX, is that's from job number one, that I was left off at empowerment. And I said, I can't. I spent so much time online and on the phone with them, and I could not find any fund that was to my standard. Once I had standards that
Mhm.
was at hitting, was I felt like everything was over there was high fees and underperforming. So I had to leave and go over to Fidelity. And I discovered that FXAIX. and,
And didn't look back,
and
huh?
I kept on dollar cost averaging into that fund until, I felt like, okay, Lisa, all right now, just like with the VTI, the daily VTI, it's trauma that led to these investments.
And
Rod, I said, I need stability. I need stability. I need to know when I need a car, I can get a car. When retirement comes around, I'm going to be okay. So I'm saying it in a joking way, but really, um, just my life experiences really pushed me to want to be able to have the portfolios that I have, and realize that I can rely on myself. Years ago, I wouldn't even use the terminology. I think you said that the live is named, is it named generational wealth?
Mhm.
I used to not use that term. When
Me
I
either.
first started out, I didn't use that term of generational wealth. I used to say to myself and to other people every once in a while, listen, I got to slow down. I need to create wealth for me before I can think about the next generations. I've gotten there now, but
You were
I was
live, Lisa. You were live. I said that exact sentiment. We can't have generational wealth until we have wealth.
exactly.
So you were live when I said that. I was like, man, forget about generational wealth. Let's start with wealth, and then we'll get to generational wealth. But one thing I want to share before I go any further, your favorite couple, I haven't pulled up on the screen. They were in Spain and France this past weekend. And I want to take the time to thank Shelton and Key. They did a live stream while on vacation to push Points Blank Experience and to get the subscribers needed to hit 1,000 subscribers. It's easy for me to text him and say thanks, call him and say thanks, but no one really knew. I didn't even know he was going to do it until he said, hey, check out this live. But I wanted to publicly thank those two, Shelton and Keith, from Your Favorite Couple in Spain on vacation and a cruise. And they took the time out to go live to talk about Points Blank Experience. If that ain't support, I don't know what is. And I just have to give them a shout out. So I'm going to tell y'all, hey, my Renaissance Grandma, I'm going to tell y'all a mistake I made. Lisa, I've never shared this. We talked about opportunities earlier. When I first got into my 401k, this is a mistake a lot of people make. We go and we get a job and they default us to 3% coming out of your check, 3% withhold. At least that's what they did at my company. I wasn't making a lot of money then. Just started in the car business, had retired from the Navy. 3% was good enough for Rod. But when I surpassed 6 figures per year, your boy still had the same measly 3% coming out. Biggest mistake I ever made. Now, I did eventually get up to 10 or 11% coming out of my check pre-tax for my 401k. When you get a raise, this is what I did. Y'all do what you want to do. If it was Rod and I was working for a company now, and I did do this, every time I got a raise, if my raise was 2% or 3%, 1%, every year, even if I didn't really get raises in the car business because it's commission, every year I increased whatever the max was, I got up to the max. I increased my percentage for deductions coming out from my 401k. I'm telling you, man, one of the best things, and I didn't even do it right. I did it halfway right because I did it, but had I done it better, I never thought I'd be retired at 53. I'm 56, and I've been retired 3 years. And people, oh, you balling. I didn't have an inheritance. I just told y'all I got $600 when I graduated high school. That was it. I went to college on a Pell Grant, screwed it up. I joined the Navy, and I worked from the bottom up. That song started from the bottom, and we hear I should be in the video because that's what happened. Mm-hmm. I took advantage of opportunities. I got my degree paid for by the United States Navy. Still had enough money to go get my master's, but I didn't decide to. We have to take, I'm not telling nobody to go do this and do this and do that, but you have to take care of yourself. I remember a story Lisa told, and I'm just going to start the story and let her finish it because I can't remember it all, and I did it after I didn't know you could do it. This is what you'll learn when you watch other people. I think she said her daughter had a couple of dollars. Or she invested $1 in Fidelity. I didn't even know you could invest $1 with Fidelity. I had to go try it, but I couldn't wait for the next. Well, it was actually that night I saw it, and the next morning I did it. $1? We're saying we can't invest, and all it takes is $1. I mean, Lisa, I'm just going to ask a question. If it's too, I don't know if you've ever shared this part, and we don't care about ages, but how long has your daughter been investing? I don't care about how old she was and is, but how long has she been investing?
I'd say maybe 8 years now. Between 6 to 8 years, I would say. And that's with a late start. Because she was, she was probably 9 or 10. Not a baby. I want somebody to come and ask for some help when the baby just got their Social Security card in the mail. I was actually on someone's live this morning, and he has a 2-year-old little girl, and he started in December of 2025. So about 6 months now. He gives his little girl $50 a month into her custodial account.
Y'all, if we are going to talk about generational wealth, if we're going to talk the talk, let's walk the walk. Let's do it for the kids. Let's be for real about it. You know, here it is. So let me see. 40 years since I got that $600 from my aunt, and I'm still talking about it. I'm still talking about it. 50 years since my grandfather passed and his trust fund was executed and went to my grandmother, and now it's down to my brother and I, and it'll go to my daughters and his children. So look at the longevity. Imagine, you know, I can't remember who I was, but the look on a child's face, you could give them clothes and all this, but if you go hand them a piece of paper and they're knowledgeable enough and know not, hey, maybe if I keep this, it could turn into this. When they graduate high school, I don't care if you Uncle Rod, Cousin Rod, ain't even part of the family Rod, they're gonna remember you. I'm telling you, unless they lose their memory. So I'm gonna read this here. Hey, the employer is matching free money for the employees. Here's Tara said, this is what I do. I don't miss it. She increases her. If you get a raise that you never had, and you take part of what you never had, how you gonna miss something you didn't have anyway? Mm-hmm. Lisa, please feel free to jump in. Let me just read this real quick because these long as I don't know what. Just imagine this: a 64-year-old person spent 2 decades in prison, only have worked 9 years, and one of those years on medical disability. What do you think they should financially be doing? Well, Lord have mercy. Let me read that again. So a 64-year-old person that spent 20 years in prison, worked 9 years, and one of those years on medical disability. What do you think they should financially be doing? Oh boy. God dang. I would still find a way to try to be investing. I mean, I don't know what answer you're looking for, Sandra. And boy, that's a hell of a life. But if they still here and they're able, and from what I got, what should they be doing? They worked for 9 years and one of those years on disability. I would still find a way if I could to invest. What do you say to that one, Lisa? Do you even want to tackle that one?
You better invest because, like, okay, this person is at a huge setback, but
yeah,
Social Security is based on, you know, I don't know off the top of my head, but a certain amount of your best earning years, say your top 30 earning years. So with that, with someone who's been incarcerated or was for whatever reason, you weren't in the workforce, you got to realize that, or when you were in the workforce, you weren't a high income earner. That's why you need to take the time to go in and find out what is your Social Security looking like today. If you're close to retirement, you'll have less to have to project for the future, but don't think it's going to be thousands of dollars monthly, because it isn't. Most likely, especially if you have gaps in your employment, or for whatever reason were not contributing in that way because you were dealing with something else, incarceration or whatever it may be.
Wow. I'm gonna go back up here because we had some comments. I just wanted to see what else. All right. Your young self has to take care of your old self, man. I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Man, Tara, you hit the nail on the head because the young Rod was a dummy. I ain't no other way to say it. Boy, I used to spend all the money. I'd be like, hey man, Kate, take it with me. How many times we heard that? I'm a ball till I fall. I ain't gonna stop till the casket drop. I said all that, everything. And I'm here to tell you right now, I wish my younger self was a little smarter, because my older self would be thanking my older self ain't hurting, but I could be doing some more stuff if I would have just been a little smarter. So I like that. The maximum employee elective deferral limit for a 401k is $24,500 for the 2026 tax year, up from $23,500 in 2025. That still does not stop you. And I thank you, Three Balls, for putting it out there. It doesn't stop you from investing on your own. Late start is an understatement, right? Yeah, I'd say that's a late start. They spent 20 years in prison. If a person can't contribute the max, uh, well, I got to learn more about trust fund. The answer is Sandra said is investing everything. And I don't know what Sandra's saying, but Lisa kind of alluded to it earlier. That scenario that Sandra gave us, that person is playing catch up. They're almost going to have to invest everything just to get where they would be because they missed out on 2 decades.
Hmm.
Lisa said a while ago, and I'm a little late on the freight train. How do you determine if SSI he take at the earliest or wait? I would take it at the earliest. That's just me. Because I just think, I mean, what are the benefits for taking it later? I mean, you got to look at
You
what
go
works.
the percentage goes up. So you can between so 62 is the earliest you could take it, but you don't get full 100% until you get to 67. And then after 67, there are some slightly higher over 100% percentages, I think up until 70. So you're and once you tap into it, I think that's it. You know, it's set. So if you tap in at 85% of your social security, that's all you're ever going to receive. So if that's the right fit for you, then it's not a one size fit all thing.
Did you say what you would do, Lisa? I mean, I don't know if you, I think you did.
I'm thinking I'm going to I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking about it, but it's still a work in progress and process when it comes to, what the future may hold. But I'm thinking I might tap in at 62 and just take handle of trying to manage that money myself as
I think
opposed
that's
to
what I'm going to do.
waiting for the full at 67. um
Here's my fear, Lisa. Let's say I don't take it at 62 and then I wait till 67. And that 5 years or 5 and 4.5 or 5.5 years, they change the rules on your boy.
mhm.
I'm taking it at the earliest possible. And I feel like I have enough competence to work my money.
Yes, yes.
That's
And
that.
it may not be literally at 62, but maybe 64. Hopefully these ages don't go up any higher than 67 for full. But I'm not 100% sure on that yet. And I just wanted to touch on what you were talking about. I know we've talked about investing a dollar, investing $5, $10, but and I'm proud of whatever you can get invested, but a lot of what I've been able to build for myself is from much more substantial investments than that. So 15% is what Fidelity recommends, and that's between your contribution along with your employers if you're getting one.
Mhm.
So, think bigger, but there are places in my financial journey where I'm incorporating those smaller $10 or even less investments from time to time because I'm building a taxable brokerage account. I'm building a brokerage account with my daughter, and I even have one for my business. So I just have different things going on. So don't forget, don't think that the extents of our investing are just those small amounts.
I'm going to say, because I'm going to get ready to close out, I didn't want this to go over 2 hours. Some of the people, when you go into department stores or Walmarts or grocery stores that are still working, they're bored. I'm retired for the most part, and I get bored very easily. Thankfully, I have YouTube and 17 other different things to do. But some of those people are working because they don't have a choice.
Hmm.
They didn't do what Tara said earlier. And let me go back up to it here. Uh, their young self, a lot of them that I'm seeing today may not have had the opportunity. And notice I keep using that word to even know or learn about investments. You can come into Rod's live or Rod's videos, or you can go to Lisa's lives, Lisa's videos. You don't have to say a word. What I would do is subscribe so you get the notifications and know when we're going to put more information out. And you may
Mhm.
just listen. You may not comment. You may just listen. But that's doing something. You have two individuals on the screen right now that aren't trying to sound super smart or super intelligent. We know the stuff, but we're doing this to just see people. Because, man, I'm telling you right now, ever since I was a little boy, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It hasn't gotten any better. It just keeps getting worse. So Sandra said, thank God for investing. For the past 16 years, landing agree and landing employment at 100,000 per year, now remote, a remote side job and side business with very minimal bills. That person is me. When you say that person is you, Sandra, can you put what you mean that person is you? I'm pretty much feeling what you're saying, but I don't want to be wrong. I'm gonna read that again while you do that. If you're near your computer or your phone, thank God for investing for the past 16 years. Landing agree and landing employment at 100K per year. Now remote, a remote side job and side business and very minimal bills. That person is me. And if I'm not mistaken, Cedric, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna go back up here. I'm gonna pull up this comment. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sandra. Only because I listen very well. And she said in one of her lives, her age, or maybe one of my lives. I didn't know all that other stuff was going on. But some people, if yes, and I was right. Some people, so I'm gonna read this again. Imagine this: a 64-year-old person spent 2 decades in prison, only have worked 9 years, and one of those years on medical disability. What do you think they should be financially doing? Then she went on to say, late start is an understatement, right? Then she said, the answer is investing everything. A lot of people would have judged this individual. A lot of individuals would have given up. $100,000 a year job, remote side job, a side business, and minimal bills. Y'all can't tell me that it's not possible to anybody. Anybody. It's a mindset. Lisa talked about it. Lisa said lay it off after layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff. Rod was dead broke in 2010. When I'm talking about, I'm gonna go to the old cliche. I ain't have a pot to piss in or one to throw it out of. I had a closet full of clothes and $4 in the bank, and I had 3 days before payday. I had to make a choice of getting to work or eating. Actually, it was 2 days. We're all individuals that have faced adversity, but the difference is obviously Lisa's still here talking about it, Rod's still here talking about it, and Sandra said, and these are just the people that are saying it. It's somebody else in this live stream that may be a story as well. And managing a what is that colostomy bag and YouTube channel? It ain't easy, but oh my goodness, boy, Sandra, boy, I don't do this too often, but salute to you, come man, Lisa. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say because I'm getting ready to close this out on that note. You can't tell me, and when I say you, not Lisa, the people in this comments, the people watching replay, you cannot tell me it can't be done. You can't tell me. But I'm gonna say that for my closing statements. I'm gonna let Lisa say what she has to say, and I'm gonna probably close out. Before I say that, though, I do want to thank Lisa before she start. Thank her for coming up here. She just finished the live, and she came up on this live to share her knowledge. And for that, I am grateful and thankful. Don't just listen to Rod or listen to one person. Get other different perspectives on this stuff, please. I'm sorry, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you, Rod. Yeah, we gotta think about. I don't want you to deprive yourself, but we got to think about what's important. You touching on, the closet full of clothes, the shoes, the cars, the upgrading your lifestyle instead of just having that mindset of, I'm earning 80,000, live off of 70. I'm earning 90, live off of 70. I'm earning 100, live off of the same 70 instead of just keeping on upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. So there's these conversations can go on, but I appreciate you having me on, and I hope we can have some time to continue this because um, you know, we're real people with real stories that I really think can help. And everything that I share is to, like I said, to be transparent. I know it's not easy. I've been through it all. And it's a battle every day. And I'm going to keep on pushing.
Well, I tell you what, and if you think I'm kidding, I spoke with Just Asking for a Friend earlier, and she said, "You seen Lisa lately?" I said, "No, I haven't." But I made her come. I said, "I hope she coming alive. If she do, I'm asking her to come up." I didn't know. That don't mean she was. I was just gonna ask, and thank goodness she did. And we got chocolate drops. So, hey Rod, hey Money Lady, how y'all doing? And man, I didn't even know Chocolate Drop watched Lisa. I went to Lisa's one day. Chocolate Drop was there and said, "Hey, the Money Lady." I say, "Hey, Chocolate Drop, do I get a name?" But I just want to be Rod. I don't need the Money Lady or the Money Guy. Look at this, Lisa, before you leave. There is so much power in this live stream, Rod and Lisa. Lisa just said it. I want to do this more often. Lisa's a lot like Tanya, Event Yours. She's more organized, Rod's more unorganized. So, but I kind of like it like this because next time maybe I had it organized and then I kind of get off topic because there's so many different directions to go with this. And we can't do it in one live. Two people can't do it. But a motto I've created, not created, but I've adopted for the whole Points Blank network is people say reach one, teach one. I want to reach one and teach multiple. If the people that watch Lisa go tell other people, not about Rod, but tell other people what they learned watching Lisa. If the people that watch Rod tell people what they learned, we may have had one, two people in each of our lives, but they're telling multiple people. That's my goal. So, Lisa, you got anything else? I'm gonna go ahead and close this out and play my little song. I do got a song. Speaking with Lisa, did you know I started a music business?
Fill me in on that on the back end,
Well,
Rod.
if you ain't getting the thing, you about to hear one of my latest songs. It's gonna be very motivational, and I'm gonna play
Okay.
it in honor of Sandra. It just made me think about everything I've read. Here, the plug, Rod. Oh, I like that. Y'all hear that? I'm the plug, man. So we got the Money Lady and the plug. No, that's a dude named the plug, but y'all got a call coming in. Okay. All right.
Good
Well,
night, everyone.
all right, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming up. I'm gonna get ready to shut this down. Thank you, Lisa. Let's see here. I'm gonna drop you down, Lisa. I think. Well, now I'm gonna let you do it, Lisa, because I don't want to kick you all the way. Well, I think Lisa thinks she left. I don't know. There we go. Y'all, tonight, and I get a chance to say this when I have a guest. I don't say it about myself. Tonight we had a chance to witness what I call greatness in the form of Lisa J. Stocks. You got a chance to hear real life stories from two individuals, Lisa and myself. Contrary to belief, just because we talk about investments, we weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths. We had to earn this. And we continue to earn. We don't only earn from revenue from our investments, but we also learn mentally. Knowledge is power. I know that's, you heard it when you were a kid or younger or whatever, but it's true. The more you know, it's not that you have to run out and sound like you know everything, but if you utilize some of the things that we learn, it's amazing. I'm gonna tell you right now, our children, our grandchildren, they're gonna need opportunity because it's gonna be a point where the job market is about to do this. It's gonna be extremely small. How can you have an income without any employment? Let's start today and not wait till tomorrow. All right, so spoon still ain't silver. It's silver plated. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm gonna close out with a. I'm gonna leave me up here till I just get it going. But this is, Lisa didn't know it. This is a song I wrote recently, and it's an empowering song. But after hearing Sandra's testimony, man, y'all can't tell me. You can't tell me that there's a reason to have an excuse. So I'm gonna start this here, and I'm gonna. Y'all, if you have any comments, throw them up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Hit the like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, as I end each and every live stream, I hope y'all have a blessed and prosperous rest of your evening. And shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars, I guarantee you. And with that being said, we're going to get ready to start. Much love, y'all.
So many others. He stood beside me when my hands were shaking. Through the storm and the sirens, he stayed in the doorway. When my faith got tired, he kept on saying, don't fold now, I'm right here. Don't break now, I still care. Beside me still, you held my heart and you healed my will. Beside me still, when I was falling, you wouldn't let me fail. Different now, I can breathe again. Oh, tears on the pillow don't own me like they did. I remember the nights when my hope was paper thin. You were patient with my silence and you pulled me back again. Don't fall. No, now I'm right here. Don't break. When I lost my way, you were holding on. I was bent, not broken, I was worn, not through. And every hard thing led me back to you. Beside me still, you held my heart and you healed my will. Beside me still, now I can sing it. You wouldn't let me fail.
Yeah, Chocolate Drop. I've been working on that secret project, and we're going to close out, y'all. Much love, y'all. Thank everybody for showing up tonight.
When nobody claps, I still step in. Same worn shoes, but my faith still flexing. I've been in the dark, seen my name unfurled, One hand on my chest, one hand on the world. You know they see you, keep going, it's fine. I got scars that still somehow outline the line. If the room stay cold, I bring my own heat. Been a slow seed growing through concrete. Oh, did I forget to mention there is no competition? I don't chase the room, I chase conviction. I move like prayer with precision. Nobody claps. I keep on going. When nobody claps, I still keep blowing. Go ahead and clap. Go ahead and clap. Go ahead and clap. You don't need no permission. Oh, you don't need no permission. Why are you tripping? Put the hate on the shelf. I ain't tripping on you. I'm only competing with myself. I learned how to rise with a cracked up heart. Even broken ground can still play its part.